Hi students, coming to the next topic, that is the abstract class. Actually this is one of the important topic and some complicated topic also. Let us clearly see this video, then you will understand what is the abstract class. Okay, so actually the abstract class is a class that contains a pure virtual function. A class contains a pure virtual function that you call it as an abstract class. So what is a pure virtual function? So what is this? It's nothing but a function. If a function is equal to 0, then you call it as a pure virtual function. At the starting I just tell only the syntax like that. Suppose the the syntax for the virtual function is virtual void some function is equal to 0. So this indicates a virtual function. Just simply whatever the function is there, for that particular function just keep it as is equal to 0. Then you can say it is a pure virtual function. So why we are creating a class with pure virtual function, and that class we are saying as an abstract class. So let us see. So before going to that in detail, let us see the characteristics of the abstract class. So don't be confused. Abstract class means a class contains a pure virtual function. A pure virtual function means a function is equal to 0, you call it as a pure virtual function. So all the class that contains this function, you call it as an abstract class. So the characteristics are: abstract class cannot be instantiated. Means it cannot create the objects. Abstract class cannot create the objects, but pointer and reference of abstract class can be created. Okay, if you use the pointer and reference of abstract class, then it creates the object. But it simply, if you are using the function, means it in that particular class it doesn't create any objects. If you use the pointers and reference, then it creates the abstract class. Just remember this point. I will give the example for this: a function without objects and a pointer and reference. With the help of pointer and reference, we can create the objects. Now coming to the next characteristics. Abstract class can have normal function and variables along with a pure virtual function. So an abstract class can have normal functions, at the same time it's having some variables, okay, and along with that you are having a pure virtual function, means a function with 0. This you call it as abstract class. These three will be there in your class. Coming to next characteristic. Abstract class are mainly used for upcasting, so that its derived class can use its interface. So whatever you declare the class as an abstract class, that class will act as a base class, and with the help of the derived class can use it as an interface of the base class. A pure virtual function or a virtual function with no definition. So actually this pure virtual function, you call it as a simply virtual function with no definition. They start with virtual keyword and ends with 0. So a pure virtual function, I'm first talking about this pure virtual function. After that the abstract class. A pure virtual function or virtual function with no definition. It doesn't have any definition. It only declares some function and variables with pure virtual function. Okay, it doesn't have no definition, with no definition, and they start with virtual keyword and ends with 0 and ends with equal to 0. Ends with equal to 0. So example for this is, let us see the syntax. Virtual. So I said a pure virtual functions with no definition, they start with virtual keyword. So start with virtual keyword. Virtual void f is a function. Start with virtual keyword and end with 0. So is equal to 0. So this is a pure virtual function. This you call it as a pure virtual function. Now let us see how this we will use in the program. So let us see the program. Example. First class base. Let us create the base class. So always the base class is the abstract. You call it as an abstract base class. Class base is the abstract base class. So now start with public. So what I said, in the abstract class you can create functions. Okay, you can declare variables, but the definition cannot be with no definition. So public, that is I am creating the pure virtual function, virtual void show. Okay, and the class. So this is the pure virtual function. Now coming to the main class, not main, this is a base class. So now I am creating the derived class. So this derived class will use the base class function. So class derived. So you have to write like this, just like an inheritance. Class derived public base. Public void. Now here I am writing the definition. So I said abstract class does not have any definition. So that definition I am writing in the derived class. Show cout. What definition I am writing? Just printing the value like cout. Implementation of virtual function in derived class. Just I am printing this value message. Class ends. Okay, so this base class ends and the derived class ends. Now write the main program. So I just write the classes. Now I'm writing the main. Int main. So actually in the abstract class I just written the function only, but that function will be implemented in the derived class. Okay, you will get some doubt why I'm using the base class. The base class without definition is no use. So then why we are using? So if you are using one or more derived classes, so in those derived classes, if you are using the common function, the common function will be using in all the derived classes. It's better to declare it in the base class. If you declare it in the base class, that common function will be called, that can be implemented with the definition in the derived class. So in those cases, we will require this abstract class. So that should be declared with a pure virtual function. So now int main. So one thing I had said here, the base obj. So now I'm creating an object for this base class. So in the previous I said that base class, that is abstract class, does not create any objects, that is instantiated. Abstract class cannot be instantiated, means it cannot create any object, but pointer and reference of abstract class can be created. So now here I am using the pointer and reference, then I am calling that function, that base class function. So base obj, now I am declaring the pointer base star pointer b. Now derived d. Okay, so derived d, in this base class a reference value of d will be stored. Now b points to show. So here I am just calling this function here, so with the help of the base class. So this is about this abstract class. Actually, if virtual function has no definition, I said, so this is a virtual function and this has no definition. This is also called as do nothing function. Abstract class, only thing is you cannot create the objects. The only thing you have to be note here is you cannot create the objects. So then what is the use of the such classes? So I said that it is used as a base class for other derived class. So all the common code, so whatever the common code is there, that is in derived class is written in abstract class. So all the common code in derived class should be written in abstract class. Okay, but we can also use okay, so that is about this. First is abstract class, you cannot create the objects. Okay, so it is used as a base class for other derived class. So whatever the common code that will be present in the derived class is written in abstract class. So let us see one example for this abstract class, then you will understand what is actually this abstract class. Means without objects and with objects with the help of this pointer or the reference variable. So let us see in the next video about this abstract class clearly. Thank you.